Like, it is a basketball play, and an Angel goes flying. Angel gets hit, in fairness, and she just flies. And then jumps up and tries to go at her. She tries to charge her down while Caitlyn walks away. Like, it's nothing. It's absolutely...
Angel, can you take us through the flagrant foul from your perspective? Just what you saw in that play, how you interpreted what happened.
Basketball play, refs.
The most recent chapter in the Caitlin Clark vs. Angel Reese tale was the most anticipated WNBA game between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. And fans were not disappointed. What we witnessed was a masterclass in inciting outrage rather than just a basketball game. Beyond Caitlin Clark's triple-double brilliance, the Indiana Fever vs. Chicago Sky showdown gave us the Angel Reese tantrum special. Served hot with a side of "please look at me" in place of the score. On the scoreboard, you're being utterly decimated.
Afterwards, has something
Angel
to say
Reese
as Clark
loses her mind.
walks away.
I mean, if you can't tell me there is not
around
true
the matchups between
animosity,
Reese and
jealousy,
Clark
and
Angel
agenda
Reese
ate up right there with that player, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that was a big nothing.
Indiana Fever are utterly controlling the Chicago Sky, winning 93-58 in the end. You're wondering whether the scoreboard operator slept off during the game, and it's like a demolition derby on hardwood. In the middle of this basketball massacre, there are still over 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Angel re-grabs an attacking rebound. Like any other basketball defender, Caitlin Clark commits a take foul.
Hates Caitlin Clark, and it's so obvious. You don't give this type of reaction for a common foul. That is a regular basketball foul. Caitlin Clark hit ball, but Angel Reese decided to flop like she's Draymond Green and act like she got shot in the streets and hood of Chicago. But then when you ask a question after the game in the press conference, you say basketball play, refs got it right, move on. But you clearly had a hard time moving on after that foul. And Caitlin Clark threw some shade at Angel Reese, rightfully so. That's just a good take foul. Either you let Angel get a wide open two-pointer, which I don't think she was going to make. Have you seen her lay a package? Or you send her to the free throw line and make her earn those points. Anybody who played any type of ounce of
Would appear like Caitlin just dropped her dog based on Angel Reese's reaction. She is giving the referee a death stare, stomping around, and pointing fingers. That clever maneuver did not sit well with Angel Reese. She erupts at once, her face twisted in indignation, her arms swinging in shock, and her barking at the referee, pointing straight at Clark. The referees, clearly frightened by the in every basketball game.
Basketball play, refs got it right. Move on.
She just said basketball play, refs got it right. She could have, like, it could have been worded worse. It could have been worded worse. And it was the same thing as she said, basketball play, when she clocked Caitlin Clark in the head. And again, I stand by this. I don't think Angel Reese last year intentionally smacked Caitlin Clark in the head, because at that stage in the year, Angel Reese had gone like 15 games without getting a single block. If Angel Reese...
Caitlin Clark, the same player who is busy revolutionizing women's basketball, packing arenas, and making the WNBA relevant. Two people who couldn't name 3 teams, reacts as if she's trying out for a job during a routine basketball game last year. A soap opera reboot, she throws herself at Clark like she was thrown from a cannon, charging for the child with the same intensity she ought to have been using to keep her team from being utterly humiliated on the scoreboard.
Me too. I want y'all to realize that. Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain. She's making herself the villain. And guess who her eyes are on at all times? Caitlin Clark. There's an image from this opening game when Caitlin Clark hits a beautiful fadeaway three-pointer, and the camera pans to Angel Reese, and you would have thought she saw the devil.
LSU defeated Iowa in the NCAA championship. Clark did the same thing, and re-mocked her with the John Cena "you can't see me" motion while Angel was busy putting together her Oscar submission tape for the most theatrical response to a routine basketball game. Like she's quietly and respectfully posting a negative Yelp review about a restaurant, she turns and leaves. Please subscribe if you find this entertaining. Caitlin Clark recorded a triple-double and scored 20 points in her debut WNBA game of the regular season. The basketball equivalent of going 2 a game is 10 assists and 10 rebounds. Using a tactical nuclear bomb in conflict for comparison, Angel Reese's stat line is 12 points on a dismal 5 of 14 shooting effort. Or 35% from the field if you're keeping score at home. She did get 17 rebounds, so congratulations. It seems that this percent is higher than her ability to recognize a regular basketball play when it occurs to her. You're still getting blown away, even if you're bragging that you brought an umbrella during a hurricane.
This was crazy. Caitlin Clark recorded the first triple-double in a season opener in WNBA history, but are you surprised? Because I'm not. I have to say, there was a couple days when I was thinking, you know what, this guy might be a little difficult with like how scrappy they could be, but then I woke up today and for some reason I had like zero hesitation and full confidence in the Indiana Fever. Venom and I went live, we were talking about it before the game.
After all that drama, all that charging, all that staged rage, what does Angel Reese say? It becomes fascinating. When the cameras are rolling and the microphones are hot, let's not make it something that it's not. Pardon me. The same Angel Reese who made a routine foul into the basketball equivalent of the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones now wants to play it cool, she continues. Basketball referees got it right. The athlete who required for those who are unfamiliar with basketball drama. Allow me to explain. I must now pretend that I was perfectly sensible the entire time since I realized that I overreacted on national television after we were already behind by 30 points. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the primary distinction between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. During the post-game news conference, she unexpectedly regained her composure despite her teammates' attempts to restrain her. One player alters the game, while the other alters her story. Depending on which way the camera is pointed.
No need for Angel Reese to jump up and try chase down Caitlin Clark after a relatively hard foul. Like what Caitlin did wasn't even in the stratosphere of what Diamond DeShields or Kennedy Carter did.
By hitting triple doubles and selling out arenas. Clark is out here making history, more swiftly than fast fashion produces fashionable apparel. Reese is causing strife. Clark's talent is enhancing the WNBA as a whole, and Rhee is trying to enhance her brand with WWE-style showmanship. The crowd should not be overlooked, should it? The field house was fully booked. The whole thing was probably detected on seismic instruments after all that drama. The janitors were counted.
All of this is fine. All of this is high-level competition, passionate basketball. They're frustrated. Caitlin's trying to foul her to avoid a little frickin' layup. Angel's frustrated because her team's losing and she was trying to do the most and her team was just not helping enough. So she's frustrated. She wants to go for the layup. She gets off balance because of this foul. Caitlin does a little shove at the end. It doesn't look malicious, but it definitely was a shove with the left hand. Angel falls to the ground. She's pissed off again because she's frustrated. Just like we've seen every other player in the WNBA at times be frustrated. Stands up, turns around, says something. Aaliyah Boston comes, gets in between them, and they all get penalized. Fine. That's all fine.
Remember, their rivalry began when they were in college. The "you can't see me" motion that Clark had made earlier in the tournament was mocked by Angel after LSU defeated Iowa to win the national championship. This is the distinction. Once a masterful play, Reese saved hers to make a direct jab at Clark once the outcome was known. One was deliberate pettiness, the other genuine competitive fire, and now history is being replayed. While Clark focuses on winning by 35 points, Reese turns a basketball play into a theatrical show and refocuses on winning the attention battle. It's like seeing the same movie with minor adjustments. Costumes. Even the Fever's head coach Stephanie White recognized it for what it was. We're going to be a hard-charging defense. And nobody will get away with anything against us. It seemed like a blatant play on the ball to me as well. This was basketball 101. Don't give up cheap money. Make them earn it at the line. This wasn't some savage attack or a ruthless tirade. Although it is clever play rather than nasty play, a good dramatic moment shouldn't be hindered by basketball intellect. When you can create highlight reels for something other than your shooting percentage, why not concentrate on your team's total devastation?
For Angel Reese to attack Caitlin Clark. It couldn't be clearer that Angel Reese knows that she is in second place behind Caitlin Clark and she's not going to top her throughout her career. In any basketball game, WNBA, NBA, on the streets, this would be a clear foul. For Angel Reese to react this way is completely out of control and she deserves to be fined for this. She's always subliminally going after Caitlin Clark in interviews. And there's constantly one thing that we can always look back on that tells the truth that Caitlin Clark is is a better player than Angel Reese, and that is the stat board. Game 1, Caitlin Clark brought in the triple-double, and although Angel did have a good game, we will give her that with 12 points and 17 rebounds. 17 rebounds is huge. She definitely did not play as...
Now, the referee explained why they thought it was blatant, since Angel recreated a scene so large that it would have been considerably bigger had it not been upgraded. We're using the guideline definition that theoretically allows us to call this a flagrant. The stunning irony, though, is that the sky was totally shattered despite the blatant call, the free throws, and the additional possession, for wind-up impact and follow-through for the extension of the left hand to Reese's back. Clark's foul satisfied the requirements for flagrant foul. 1. Why would 35 be a better option than 37? After all that pandemonium, Reese missed the first shot and stepped to the free throw line, adding the cherry on top to this absurd Sunday. And the sold-out Gamebridge Fieldhouse erupted in cheers. Not polite applause or encouraging remarks for the home team cheers that are passionate and ravenous. You know you made a mistake when everyone in the arena is rejoicing over your loss. Maybe you're not the main character in this story, or maybe wrestling's heel turn isn't going as expected.
Go to the board, Caitlin!
While Reese was composing her confrontation story, Clark was writing history. A triple-double in your WNBA debut is the basketball equivalent of showing up on your first day of work and casually resolving challenges the firm has faced for years. 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. It's not simple. That would be a spectacular and historic statement if basketball were a topic of conversation. And it was accomplished in a crushing victory of 35 points. Clark was giving a TED Talk when Reese tried to interrupt with a TikTok dance. Now, of course, we get to enjoy the fallout, with the altercation being discussed on every American sports program, when the rookie you've been compared to is outperforming you, like the sun outshines a dollar store flashlight, and your team is behind by enough points to be considered a felony in some states. Every analyst analyzes the situation, and every social media account shares the highlights, exactly what Angel Reese had wanted all along. How does one create a moment? You fabricate a story that, after a typical basketball game, you're shouting at Clark would be the main topic of tomorrow's sports broadcasts rather than how badly your team lost or how well Clark played.
Do you guys think that Angel Reese understands that she is in a completely one-sided beef with Caitlin Clark? Like, I don't think Caitlin Clark could give less of a fuck about Angel Reese's existence. And yet Angel Reese tries so hard to make this a thing, to make this like rivalry a thing when it really doesn't exist. And this was a normal ass foul, by the way. Like this was a normal hard foul, send them to the line. And I mean, Angel Reese flops the shit out of this. I mean, look at her flail her arm, and look at Caitlin Clark's arm. It's not even whatever. And then Angel Reese is trying to get into like her face after this foul, and yet Caitlin Clark is just walking away. she just turns around and walks away, you know, as if it's a normal foul, which it was. And yeah, Angel Reese, you could read her lips. She was like saying, oh, she's trying to fight, bro. She's trying to fight. And it's like, I genuinely don't think Caitlin Clark could care less about you. She does not care about your, like, you are in a one-sided beef. It is all in your head, Angel. This rivalry that you think is you are not on the same level. And I don't think she cares in any capacity. I wish I could be as delulu as you, because what you think is
This play is strategic. We've seen this before. Even when the scoreboard isn't in her favor, Angel makes sure she wins the post-game coverage, even if she can't win on the court. She makes a spotlight for herself when basketball isn't giving it to her. The basketball equivalent of a politician saying something ridiculous when they're rapidly losing the polls. It's a planned confrontation. Possessed the most enlightening element of the entire narrative. Clark's response was direct, no extravagant statements. No Twitter fingers ready to retaliate, and then this crucial sentence. I'm not sure what the referee saw to improve it, and that's up to them. I wasn't trying to do anything malevolent, and the situation is already tense. I'm not watching this basketball game in the third quarter with that kind of player. Currently, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are putting the now that I've told you, the Chicago Sky beats. Angel Reese is furious because she wants to make it her goal to beat Caitlin Clark this year, but it's not even close yet. Caitlin Clark's smash song, 3 South Ladies and Gentlemen. The difference is that you resemble a younger version of Steph K, while the other participant focuses on the basketball theater. The first participant focuses on basketball. At the end of the day, one player makes sure her replies receive all the media attention, while the other lets her game speak. The scoreboard showed Chicago Sky 93, More than 58, an overwhelming victory by 35 points. This should have been the only story. Although Caitlin Clark's triple-double should have been the sole headline, Angel Reese's attempt to win the title of most emotional reaction to a basketball play generated a staged moment that threatened to overshadow the main event. This was done precisely to ensure that every sports show, tweet, and headline would feature Reese's name next to Clark's. And maybe that's the real victory. Angel was playing all along not for the one on the scoreboard, which she knew was already gone, but for the victory anyhow, so she signed with Kane Clark. In the attention economy, where losing by 35 points can still be regarded as a success if you're trending for all the wrong reasons, Angel was playing all along. My autograph was signed by her. My life is over. This is a replay. Don't forget what you witnessed today as the WNBA season continues. The most annoying when someone feels that being remembered for an overreaction is better than being forgotten in a blowout loss. They engage in strategic moves. They don't occur during a game of basketball. Others are trying to stay relevant by turning everyday occurrences into dramatic ones, while Caitlin Clark's play is transforming women's basketball. While one player may be playing at a higher level, remember that another is also playing at a higher level. Not only did the Indiana Fever overcome the Skies over Chicago yesterday, Caitlin Clark's performance was not just superior. The Angel reclass did not conquer all disorder. What we witnessed was the difference between a player who strives for greatness and one who only wants to be acknowledged ironically by putting forth so much effort to get noticed. Angel Reese was explicit about who she